Hello, my name is Patty, and I'm the co-owner of C60 Evo, one of the most marvelous, in my opinion, supplement companies going on today with breakthrough technologies of the carbon 60 molecule that's manufactured at the highest concentration level. And it's also made in a lab that's been in business for 31 years with really, really conscious scientists. And my job is not in science or in the lab, but to attract people to the product. And I'm promoting it. I'm out there all the time. And I'm choosing, as you can tell by my shirt, to be a proud American patriot, which means I love this country. I love our freedom. And I want to keep it that way. And I find that with all the information I'm gifted, there's a lot of times that I'm thinking, why have I not gone postal? And I swear, I think it's this stuff. It just keeps me at an even keel. C60 Evo in the morning. I take it every day. And I was so delighted when Penny Kelly, one of my amazing friends, who's written so many consciousness books, also started taking it and noticed amazing benefits. So welcome, Penny Kelly. I adore you. I think the world of you. And let us know, if you would, why you still take the Evo after I sent you your first sample.
Well, there's a couple of reasons that I think the most important is because of the effect, yeah, the long-term effect, even the short-term effect. So I started taking it, immediately noticed that several things were better. Sleep was better, my eyesight was better, my energy was better. That whole array is something that I hear from other people all of the time that they're struggling with. And, and so I suggest that people take C60 for a number of reasons. I think what it does is rebuild the body. It regenerates. It helps with that regeneration. If you take it, you begin to notice small things right away. I think it was a factor in the surgery that I had, the emergency surgery,
Yes.
back on Valentine's Day. That was a life or death kind of thing. And I had been really taking care of myself for a long time. And it was, and C60 is part of that. And I really noticed when I went into the hospital and they said, well, this kind of surgery may require a bowel resection because it was a closed loop bowel obstruction. So the small bowel had gotten caught in some old scar tissue and couldn't function. It collapsed. So and typically if you have that kind of a problem, after I think they said about 12 hours, the bowel dies. And then you need a bowel resection and a colostomy and all that stuff. And I was like, oh no. And it was so unexpected, just completely out of the blue that this happened. And I actually thought it was a gallbladder problem at first, but I didn't have any symptoms of gallbladder, so I really didn't know. But I think it was from 7 in the morning and when the problem started until midnight when I had the surgery. That's a long day. That's a very long day. And about 17 hours. And when they cut that bowel loose, got it free of of the the scar tissue. They said it turned pink immediately, stood right up there and started working again. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. And I think that that's part of the benefit of C60 is, I'm going to say, a greater resilience in terms of recovery. And they told me before I went into the surgery, you're going to be in the hospital for at least 7 days. And I was out in 2 days with no pain, just, just recovered, and I had to be careful. I couldn't start my exercises again because I was all stitched back together at 3 levels of stitching. But it's like I never had surgery except for the big old scar running down my belly. And that, I think that's part of the benefit of taking C60 is that long-term resilience, that ability to recover quickly.
Wow.
The other thing is that I'm really struggling with is my glasses. I really need to go get new glasses because my eyes are getting better and better, and I can't see with the glasses on. And so that's really been something I just haven't gotten to yet. But I'm noticing that's a continuous improvement. It's just as another thing. I was just thinking about this morning. We have not quite gotten into the full spring yet. It's been quite cold this spring, but typically, even on a cold spring, I will have itchy eyes, runny nose from the tree pollens. And once the grass pollens start, it's like, OMG. Just everything's all stuffed up. And there's been no sign of that at all this year. And the trees are in bloom and we're cutting the grass. And so even if it's delayed a little bit, I'm grateful because it's absolutely miserable. And I don't dare touch my eyes when once they start itching because then I can't stop, rubbing them. But I've noticed that that's a benefit as well. So lots of little things that are really key and really show how capable the body is in handling the various assaults that come in from everything. Everything. We live in a pretty difficult world. It's very toxic. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of crap happening out there. You need some backup. So C60 is a great backup.
Amen. Well,
Yeah.
C60, the only time I'm allowed to say that is C60 Evo, because
Oh, that's right.
my partners make a big difference between C60 for industrial purposes
Yeah.
and ESS 60 for humans and pets. And it's a completely different manufacturing process. So
Uh,
Chris used to make me put a quarter in the cuss box if I say 60. He said
Whoops.
that's other companies, that are selling a lesser product, but ours
Yeah.
is ESS 60, and we do both. We sell both wholesale, the powder to tires, solar cells, battery companies around the world for the
Wow.
industrial grade C60, but you don't want to put that in human remedies, such as, a nice organic oil. You don't want industrial grade. And we don't know what other companies are putting in theirs. So I'm finally good at it where I'm really careful about not saying C60 is what we sell. C60 Evo is the name of the company. And it is C60. It's carbon 60. It's the carbon fullerene miracle molecule. It's just
Yeah.
an upgraded version of it, which is so much better for
Yeah.
you.
I think that that's really an important distinction because I have tried a bunch of different C60s,
Oh,
um, used them, for a while. And I noticed the difference when I started with C60 Evo. And I'm also aware of the difference between industrial grade or animal grade or human grade. And that's a big point.
right.
Um, if it's not geared for humans, then, caution,
Risky.
caution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have been kind of making the public aware lately because there's been a lot of unfortunate infiltration, even into the C60 industry. Some people have been in it since the beginning, and they're selling charcoal. There's no C60. And Chris went real public about it. He tested it in front of the public and he said, there's no C60. And then there's a new guy with
Um,
a big following, and I won't say names, but he's doing supercharged C60 and it's nano onions. Like my partners test everything and we try and be real polite. I'm not going to name names, but
yeah.
they're testing all the other products because we want the industry to stay integral. And then
Yeah.
we have to just go back to, if you have to question it or ask us if that product is good, you may as well be using ours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
it's
would
interesting.
agree.
Yeah. And the online information about C60, like when they do reviews of all the C60 companies,
Yeah.
It's another one of those hysterically pitiful things to me. I just looked at them yesterday and I was like, well, it's obvious who paid for this one. They put all their products there. And, like there's so much all that in a bag of chips. For us, it's about developing new products and keeping our consistency high. And
Yeah.
because we've made so many products in the last 3 years that we've been open, we just upgraded our
Oh,
labels. I don't know if you noticed, but we have all beautiful new labels. And now they match, but they're different colors. But what's
yep.
the
Oh,
message? The message is a buckyball and a pile of power. Boom! Like
yeah,
all that
that's right.
energy. So
Yeah.
it's about, for me at this point, we are dealing with some of the greatest influencers, including you. And I say dealing with, meaning you share your testimonials and we send you complimentary products to keep you happy, healthy, and brilliant. And I think it helps. Yes.
Yeah, I have to share something. My daughter makes facial products, okay? And I have used them, I get some every year for Christmas. So when she was here this year, I said, you ought to try this C60 Evo face stuff, facial serum. So I shared my stuff with her. And she said, oh my God, I love that stuff. I love it. And I said, yeah, I know, I do too. So I just wanted to share that. I didn't share it with all my daughters, but the one who makes the facial stuff thought it was fabulous, and I do too. And
Yeah.
I use the lip gloss almost every day. So there's it's more than just. I think it was my youngest daughter. Let me interrupt myself. My youngest daughter said to me, "Oh, this was quite a while ago. Mom, why are you using that chemical stuff? Why aren't you using organic makeup and organic this?" And I was like, because I've been using this stuff. You just get into a routine and you don't look any further. So I went looking and I thought, okay, let me find some organic, good for your skin stuff that really works well. And part of that was the discovery of C60. C60 Evo's, what does it call it? Serum, the facial serum?
Advanced facials.
Yeah, advanced facial serum. That's it.
I love
Oh my. Yeah,
good
I
stuff.
do too. I've started putting it on my forearms even. So that and then there's the stuff that you mix together. Um, that is absolutely wonderful.
Oh, I'm
And
glad you've tried it. I didn't know if you had this one yet.
yeah, oh
Youth
my gosh.
Renew with the
Yep,
copper peptide
yep,
and the ESS 60. And the
yeah,
reason we do 2 bottles is because I don't let the lab put emulsifiers in. We don't do chemicals.
yeah.
So you
And
mix it in your
I'm
hand and
happy
activate it.
I put in my hand and I sort of, mix it up. And while I'm mixing it, I'm talking to it and I'm sending it this beautiful golden white, pinkish light. And then I put it on, it lasts all day. Other stuff you have to renew halfway through the day if you have to be on camera at night. And not so with C60. So not everybody has to be on camera as often as I do.
Your
But
skin's like butter.
yeah, it really is very good. I was looking at somebody the other day who was in her 60s, and I'm headed towards 76 now. And I thought, she really needs to do something. And I thought when I was later, working on myself, I thought, most people don't believe I'm 76, and sometimes I don't, or headed toward. I'm 75 and a half. So I think that that's really an important. It's an important habit first to establish the habit of cleaning your face and restoring, renewing, feeding the skin. I do it every morning and every evening, and it's something that was a tradition in my family. My mother, my grandmother, didn't do a whole lot, but she did quite a bit. She lived to be 101, and my mother That was a religion for her, was taking care of her skin. And when I was 20, she gave me a package of her skincare routine, which was by Vivian, Vivian somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember thinking, what do I want this for? But I started using it and established the habit, and
Oh,
it has paid off. So, a few people have said, well, you must have gotten a facelift. And I said, no, I didn't, but I have thought of it. So,
don't
uh,
need it. That's for sure. I mean, your skin is incredible.
it doesn't have any lines in it, or very few lines. And I think the C60 has really made those the few, what do they call those? Hairlines, hair-like lines
Some
go
people call them wrinkles.
okay, yeah.
Wrinkly
Yeah,
winkles.
yeah, they have become filled in. So that's a very nice thing. Now I do take collagen. I do take my vitamins and minerals. All of that is part of it. But if you're not doing something special for your skin and for your tissues, which C60 Evo does your entire inside, and something's happening with my eyes, if it really is, it pays off. You're either going to spend that money on insurance and medical bills and copays, or you're going to spend it on stuff that really works and that you don't have to bother with all that medical stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, it's much better to take a spoonful now than have to pay the dues later.
that's right.
Like being in a hospital. I'm amazed by your hospital story because I've got my own.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
3 years ago, I trusted a human that I should have never allowed in my life, and he left uranium in my garage. Never in my life did I have skin cancer. I just last week had number 6 taken out. And I did something similar to what you did. Number 6 taken out since uranium poisoning. Never in
Wow.
my life, but I chose last week to say, this is the last one. And the whole morning, noon, and afternoon,
Yeah.
I sat there talking to my sweet body. And I said, if there's any cells in here that are not of the light, go down there to the front of the lake because the bus is coming at 4 o'clock. And I want you guys all to be at the dock, ready to go.
Very
And
good.
they scooped it out and they cauterized it. And I'm laying there numb, no pain. And
Yeah.
then the same thing happened all 6 times, like happened to you, which it was so great hearing you start with telling me. I called the doctor the first 2 times and I said, when does the numbing wear off? She said an hour after we put it in. And I said, okay, well, the surgery was yesterday. How come I don't hurt? I haven't hurt for 6 of them,
Oh,
none
wow.
of them. So
Yeah.
I said to her, when I left the office, I said, I know I'm numb now, but I don't expect to hurt tomorrow. How can it be this easy? And it's the C60 Evo. It
Yeah.
really is. It's so interesting to realize that it also does something with the blood-brain barrier, that it really does have small enough miracle molecules. They say it's
Yeah.
172 times more powerful than vitamin C, and it goes into the cells in the mitochondria where places where C can't because it's a
Yeah.
smaller molecule.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Vitamin C builds tissue, but it has difficulty getting across that blood-brain barrier. So,
I am
yeah.
calmer on C60 Evo.
Yeah.
There's times when I just think, my gosh, how am I so calm right now? Yes, I live in Colorado. That helps. But short of that, C60 Evo every morning religiously.
Yeah.
And I find that when I want to treat myself, I do the coconut oil in my coffee. This has less than half.
I've done that.
Yeah, it's got less than half the strength that the olive oil does, which is the strongest, zero 0.8 milligrams per milliliters, no matter how much you put in it. The avocado is zero 0.6. So these are two very strong, but the olive is the most. And the MCT is only 0.35 milligrams per milliliters, but it's so good that I just take twice as much.
Yeah. There you go.
Wonderful in your coffee.
And the
The
coconut
avocado,
oil is very good for the brain. It's very good for all your tissues. I can't emphasize that enough. They're using coconut oil to reverse Alzheimer's. So,
Wow. And they're
yeah,
using olive oil for heart health.
yeah, exactly.
So at a time like this, when our hearts are being assaulted by careless
Oh,
decisions to trust people,
I
I'm
know.
so sorry. This is
No,
helping.
yeah,
And
it
we
does.
have 5 different fourth stage Big C clinics that are buying regular dozens from us as daily protocol. Now, we don't make claims because we don't want to be shut down.
Yep.
We just note that there are 5 clinics that are ordering regularly. Today was 3 dozen to somebody, and they went for the big bottles of coconut oil. So for me,
Okay.
I think olive, but again, like you just said, some people do prefer or need the coconut.
Yeah.
And all of these organic oils are fabulous for skin, hair, teeth.
Yep. That's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah, I think we're as a people, we're slowly beginning to move a little bit beyond the pharmaceutical mindset.
Oh,
I heard somebody just the other day say, "Go to the doctor, and the doctor's doing this, and but he's not fixing it." And I thought, oh, somebody else is waking up. You don't fix stuff by suppressing the symptoms. And that's all that big pharma does. So, yeah, it's time to really dig in and figure out, what does this body need? What do I have to do? What do I have to provide it with? Because every day we're using it and every day it has to be rebuilt. And if you're not putting in the building materials, you're going down.
yeah. Okay, so I have a new remedy for my mom. I don't know if you do this.
Oh,
Um, what I do every morning is my spoonful of C60 Evo olive oil,
okay.
and I use the same spoon for a tablespoon of, but I usually do a teaspoon fat of blackstrap molasses.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Very
Very
good. It's iron, but it somehow helps with the bones and joints that are stiff.
because it's so loaded with B vitamins and iron that I can't and I think beta carotene also. There's so much in blackstrap molasses
Oh,
that
goody.
that's used to be. I consider that to be very similar to a few other products out there on the market that were used as some kind of sweetener, but they're not sugar. They're
Hmm?
not the kind of sugar that causes degeneration. Blackstrap molasses used to be considered a sweetener, and it is so loaded with vitamins that it's hard to recount all of those that are in it. So
Hmm.
it's a good formula.
That's my new thing. And my poor supplement box just sits there like I don't hit it. I haven't hit my supplements in at least a week, but
Okay.
regularly I do those two.
Yeah.
And
Very
sometimes
good.
3 if I do the coconut in my coffee. So
Yeah.
always C60 Evo, always blackstrap molasses, and a lot of water to drink. And I'm feeling pretty darn good. And I'm also, I mean, I'm on a
Good.
major healing mission because
Yeah.
I've been attacked a couple times, so I've had work to do. I'll confess that I've got my infrared pad here that's on my legs, on my back. You
Very
know,
good.
we do everything we can to, master our health. And I really find it an honor that you are enjoying Evo because I know you're super picky. I know you grow your
That's
own food. You're an incredible farmer. And you also know a lot about real science compared to other people that pretend to know about real science.
yeah, there's not the science that's been taught the last few years, the last 20 years at least, has just been a waste of time. It's like nobody comes out of science excited about science. And so they have failed to make science come alive or to allow people to see how critical the science is or how does it work? How does it work? One of the things that I wanted to mention was um, the idea of frequency. We've talked about frequency in the past. If you're really healthy, you can keep your mind, your high frequencies up there. When you have higher frequencies, you can then have a bigger impact on your own self. You can use your consciousness, you can direct it more easily, you can keep it up there and keep your spirits up and not get lost in fear, not
Yeah.
get lost in despair or hopelessness or, all the drama that's going on, which is there's a lot of drama that's going on out there. So, when you have a high frequency mindset, you can then use that to impact your own body. And people do not understand that they are a pile of frequencies that produce plasma, and the plasma solidify into matter, and it's all based on the frequency. And C60 Evo, I think, is major frequency restoration. What do I call it? Supplement or
Booster.
a factor booster? Yeah. That helps to keep your consciousness open and unafraid and keep your creativity going and keep your intuition high. All of that is so critical right now. And I think it's going to be more critical as we go over the summer. People don't freak out, people. It'll be okay. So, yeah, that whole thing about keeping yourself healthy. When you're not healthy, um, inflammation sets in. Inflammation is probably the major, if not the main cause of depression. And when you get inflamed, that's when you get crabby, irritable, anxious, fearful, distrustful, all sorts of things. I mean, there's a time and a place to let somebody know that you're not happy with them, or to, just kind of have that trusting eye working both ways. Is this someone I can trust or not? But when you're sick or sickly or under the weather or depressed, it's almost impossible to keep your spirits up. And I think that's a major, the reduction of inflammation is a major impact of C60 Evo. It's something that people can, I'm going to say, relax a little bit with. You just said, I feel really good. Most people say, I am so angry. I'm so upset. I'm so anxious. I'm so afraid. And they are. And they can't get out of that because they're not healthy enough. It's about health, and health, at a peak of health, anything is possible.
Yep. Health is our greatest wealth, and people take it for granted. Do you have dogs, cats?
I have 3 cats here on the farm. They are my hunting team. They keep the small critters down.
I bet.
Just put our dog down last week, so we don't have a dog right now.
Oh,
It was a rough weekend last weekend.
here's your
So,
cat formula. Did you know we make it for cats?
oh no.
C60 Evo for cats with salmon essence. They love it. You put a few drips
Oh
on
wow.
their food. I'll add this
Hmm.
to your next box.
Okay, I
And
would love it. I'll report. I mean, these girls are healthy.
good.
Um,
Well, now
they
they're going
are,
to live twice as long, maybe.
that's good. That's good.
Right?
My best cats lasted 21 years. That's kind of a long time for cats.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's wonderful. I think I, we don't take very good care of our pets. I mean, some people do, but a lot of people just, they don't. I won't say anymore because I don't want to
Right.
get,
Well,
yeah.
this product, we sell a dog lover set, which is a bottle for you, bottle for your dog with bacon
Oh,
essence, or bottle for you, bottle for your cat with salmon essence.
oh, great.
When we sell sampler sets or groups of things, we take 15% off. I'm just going to throw down the discounts real quick of our products.
Okay.
Because I know that your audience and my audience only have so much interest in an infomercial, but these are true testimonials. I didn't hurt after surgery. You didn't hurt after
No.
surgery. They said 7 days, you left after 2. I'm scratching my head like, how can this not hurt? It's so
Yeah.
amazing to find a remedy. But again, it is about frequency and vibration. For me, if I
Yeah.
hold other C60 products, I can tell. Or I take my necklace off or grab a pendulum and I test it. I can
Yep.
tell. And it's not to
I,
insult anybody else. It's just when you're dealing with something that's made in a real lab at the highest frequency of production methods, you're going to get the best products that make you
I,
function at a higher frequency. I love it that you mentioned that because it's true.
yeah, yeah. And that's really important.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people. I know somebody who's making C60 herself. And I have no idea what the quality is, but I would much rather have it tested. I value science very highly, you
The
know.
way that we make it in our lab is in a huge reactor and it burns graphene rods at the heat of the sun. So it has to be that hot for it to be real carbon 60. So I'm
Oh,
not sure
wow.
what she's doing, and I wish her well. Um, but
She's
yeah,
not doing that.
we talk about the only other places to buy raw C60 is Wuhan, China. Good idea.
Huh?
Russia, good idea. And Canada. Hey, Justin. So those are your three choices. I'd rather buy from a Patriot company in Texas that's been making it for 31 years with integrity. I'll just throw down, we've got three oils. We have capsules for people that don't like the flavor.
Okay.
Dog, cat, face, hair. We've got a hair formula for people that lost their hair, had the thing in the
Oh,
arm, lost their hair.
really?
Yes.
Oh, I have a client who's just wanting to grow her hair back so much. I will.
C60 Evo hair renewal.
Okay.
It's right there
Oh,
on the website. You tell her about it.
I
Um,
will.
you should see some of our clients. Alfred Lambermont Weber. I saw an
Yeah.
article he did 3 years ago, and he's got short hair. He's got, you can't even see the end of his hair now. It goes past the bottom of the screen. His hair
Oh,
is so long. It's incredible. We're
wow.
getting rave reviews, but he's only taking the edible oil. So what this does is it boosts everything, I think.
Yeah.
My nails grow faster. I'm
Yeah.
still alive after what I've been through, so I win.
Yeah.
Um, but to
That's
point
right.
out the very last thing, you got 15% off for sets. You got 20% off if you sign up for a monthly subscription, and
Oh,
25% off if you buy a case. You can buy a case with a friend or buy it for yourself. It's 12 bottles, but we are selling cases like crazy, 25% off. And Penny has a secret code, which if you use her
yeah,
code,
that's
she
true.
gets a commission and you save another 10% at checkout. What's your code?
You know what? I don't know.
Okay, we will put the
Off the
link
top of my
below.
head.
Okay, I
Okay.
don't know it either off the top of my head. We will have the
Yeah,
link below in the description.
right.
But the only reason I just wanted to mention there's all kinds of ways to save money. You're going to
Yeah,
get your money's worth no matter what. And if Penny loves it,
I do. I
then
do.
anybody can trust her. I mean, maybe, I'm a seller, I'm an owner. People are like, you guys rave about it, but you own the company. You don't. And
No,
you're
I don't.
super picky. So
No.
we are
Yeah.
very, very delighted to have you on our team. And I'm glad
Huh?
your eyes are improving and that your
Yeah.
surgery went so much easier.
Yeah.
But looking at your skin and hearing you say you're
Oh,
75 is just remarkable.
oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting up there. So I think actually at this point I'm in better shape than all four of my kids. So
Wow. Well, we better get them on the Evo.
I think that's probably a good idea. I was thinking, my son especially, he's the farmer. He works hard and he works his body hard. We have chickens. We've got a big greenhouse. It's 30 feet by 100 feet long. So he's on the move a lot. And he often says, I should be taking something. And then he
All right.
doesn't.
You
So,
give me your grocery list. We'll talk after this interview.
oh,
And I
okay.
just, every time I see you, you look 5 years younger. So keep doing everything
Oh,
you're doing.
okay. I will.
All right. Love you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for producing and tell Chris I said thank you. I really appreciate the work he's doing.
He
And
and Robert. Yeah. Two
oh, I
partners,
haven't met Robert, just
Chris
Chris.
Burris and Robert Wong. So
Oh,
your website is
Penny at pennykelly.com will get you there. Some people know it as consciousnessonfire.com. And when you go there, you'll see the C60. And I think there's some zeolite. There's a few other things for clearing out the body. But that, go ahead, order. Just give it a try. It makes a difference.
Give it a try. That's all we can ask.
Yeah.
All right. And our website is c60evo.com. And you'll want to do a / with Penny's code to get 10% off at checkout, along with all the other discounts. So
Right.
take good care, stay well, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. You too. Do the same.